Welcome to Let's Talk Football with me, Chris.
And me, Richard.
The podcast bringing you the latest in football news. Every week we discuss all the big talking points from the world of football and preview all the action in the week to come.
In this week's podcast, the FA Cup heads to the blue side of Manchester in a final that wasn't without its controversy. And in the Europa League, it's seventh heaven for Sevilla as they inflict Jose Mourinho's first ever European final loss.
Lots to get on with today, as well as some other bits. So, let's talk football. Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to another week of Lay Podcast.
Lay Podcast.
Lay Podcast, Let's Talk Football. Welcome, everybody. It's been a week.
It's been an interesting week. Another interesting week. Lots of things going on, despite the seasons all coming to a close.
Indeed, indeed. Let's start at Wembley then, with the FA Cup final.
Well,
When the way that everyone... what was it? 12 seconds, I think.
12 seconds. And I tell you what, right? It would have been less had the goalkeeper not taken two touches.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it might not have happened if he didn't take the two touches. It may well not have happened,
no.
So, you know.
But I bet you were just sitting down, just getting comfortable. Right, come on. We can do this. Oh, no, it's 1-0.
1-0. It's a bit of a shocking start, I'll be honest. And it's just from there just thinking...
start, but it's a great start from Manchester City and something you wouldn't conventionally see them do.
Not the long ball up to the big man, knocking it down to the... That was that Pep. Oh, I wonder if that was Pep winding Sam Allardyce up.
Maybe, I don't know.
Do you think that's what it was?
Maybe.
Do you think that's what he was doing? He was winding up Big Sam because Big Sam said no one's better, and so he gave it the old Kevin Davis into Nolan.
But then obviously Haaland heads it down, and then it gets put back up in the air by Varane, I think it was, wasn't it? Who won the header with De Bruyne in the middle.
Yeah.
And then Gundogan just unleashed it.
Just clipped it, didn't he?
Yeah. It's a beautiful... I mean, David De Gea had
good strike.
no chance.
No.
So yeah, fastest
especially
ever
the speed of it.
Final goal.
Yeah, overtaking Luis Suarez against Chelsea all those years ago.
Yeah.
I was hoping we'd get a similar story to that cup final.
Yeah, it'd end up on the losing side, but sadly not.
It wasn't to be. But
I thought you did well after that.
We did do well. We recovered well because, you know, if that happens at the start of the season, for example, we capitulate, we fall apart, and it's game over, we're done.
But
so they came back.
Plenty of time left in the game. You just work your way back into the game. Yeah.
I don't think it was a penalty, though.
No, of course it wasn't. Absolutely atrocious decision.
It's ridiculous. It's like, it's just, I mean, it wouldn't mind. It's only just flipped his hand.
Yeah,
if anything as well,
to do
and
with
it's
his
like
hand at that point? That's what I would argue.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a weird one, and I was just like, And we take those.
Yeah, I mean, it gets given, you put it away.
Yeah.
Go in level at half time, and you're like, right, okay, reset.
And we did the same again. We did the same again.
Exactly, pretty much.
Come out in the second half and did the same again. Just that little bit of concentration at the start of the game.
Has just come of his own this season, I think, hasn't he?
Well, he doesn't know. I disagree with this. I think he does this year on year for him, to be honest.
You don't notice it. Yeah.
He rocks up with the big goals in the big games for them. And he's done it for years, and that's why I'm really surprised
Everyone's going,
that he's likely to leave.
I mean, there will be many suitors after his signature.
I think so, you know. He's only 33.
Yeah.
Young age now for the athletes
I'd take it.
that we have in football. I'm sure you would.
With the top
I don't think he'll be coming to you, though.
No, I would imagine he might even stay. He might even stay at City.
Yeah, I could see a situation. Was he at Madrid at one point?
Now you've got me.
I might be wrong.
Was he at Real
He might have come straight from Bayern, but
no, all his time in Germany, so he hasn't been out to Spain.
See, I could see him ending up at Madrid. You know.
I mean, Real Madrid seem to be linked with a lot of players at the moment, so let's not. I mean, they need a striker. They will need a striker, but obviously they need to refresh that team as well. That team is getting on a little bit. So obviously Modric probably won't be there next season either.
No.
There is talk of obviously Mr. Kane going to. Now Benzema's going to wherever.
Well, that kind of opens that avenue up, doesn't it?
It does, and it worries me.
I mean, dude, you've got him for one more season max.
I don't even think we're going to get him for that.
Well, no, but I mean, do you know what I mean? Like that's it. So I mean, just concede it. He's going. Where he goes, that's another story. But
yeah,
I don't think he's going to be a Tottenham. I told you this last week anyway. I don't think he'll be a Tottenham player next season.
And with that news coming out, I would probably be inclined to agree.
Absolutely. But yeah, so it was we had.
Yeah,
I think we had opportunities in the game. It wasn't like, I feel like we could have done a little bit more.
you did. You didn't really test Ortega that much, though. I didn't think.
That's the thing, and we got into position. Some of the final balls for the counter wasn't perfect.
Was very hit and miss.
You know, we could have done well. I say perfect. Didn't need to be perfect. Some of the times it's just get it over the top and let Rashford have a run.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Test them a bit, give them a little
red
something.
shirt, what seemed to be the difficulty.
Yeah, we did really struggle with that. We needed to be a bit more clinical with our passing.
Yeah.
And I felt like we could have opened them up a bit more than we did.
Yeah, because you obviously bar the goal in the first half. I don't think Man City did much else in the first half.
They didn't do much damage. Even after I think they had one or two opportunities maybe after the second goal in the second half.
Yeah, but you did all.
They had a lot of the ball.
Of the running. Yeah.
Yeah, they did a lot of. They had a lot of the ball because that's what City do. But we just couldn't quite get the pass away to open up the pitch.
Well, your pass accuracy, according to Google at least, 78%, whereas theirs was 87%. That's the difference.
Yeah, but it's we were working for a moment, right, and we couldn't quite get it away. And I thought when Garnacho came on, it changed it more.
Yeah, it did
we had a
change
bit
the
more
dynamic a little bit, didn't it? He looked a lot more threatening down that right-hand side than what Sancho had done.
But it was Eriksen that came off for him, wasn't it?
Was it Eriksen that came off for him?
Yeah, Eriksen came off for him. Sancho stayed on.
Yeah.
And I think Garnacho went down the left.
Yeah.
But well, attention, well played.
Well, I'm talking. I normally talk about right-hand side in terms of he was on Walker's right-hand side. Beg your pardon.
Right.
Yeah.
So
But Jack Grealish, you were right.
I was right. I was 100% right.
Did keep him quiet.
He didn't have a moment in the game other than the fact that he dived and got a free kick from him. You see that?
I didn't know.
But ball goes wide out to Grealish. Wan-Bissaka slides in.
Oh no, I
misses
did
the ball,
see that, and he got a yellow card for it.
Misses the ball in fairness, but completely misses the man too. And Grealish went, "I'm going over."
That's Paul Tierney for you.
Going over. Oh, it's a free kick, yeah, and you get a yellow card. Get out. Honestly, seriously. But yeah, it's one of them. They're going to do it, and it's going to be painful. So
do you know what? I was talking to someone about this.
They're going to do it. So don't.
I'm not sure they are.
I think they're going to do it.
I have doubt in my mind that they're going to do it.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot.
Well,
that they will find a way to win that game.
They will, but I think if they play like they did against you in the cup,
you're disrespecting us with that, right? We're a good team. We've got World Cup winning defender in Varane who looked after. I thought he played apart from on a couple of occasions. He played really well against Haaland.
Yeah.
I don't think Inter's defence have that in them to keep him quiet like that.
We shall see.
I just don't see it, and I think with the quality, Gundogan, who again he always gets under because you've got to worry about everyone else.
He gets under the radar.
Fred man-marked De Bruyne out of that game practically. The only damage that De Bruyne did to us was from his set pieces.
Yeah.
Particularly when he sent it across to Gundogan for the second goal.
Yeah.
So while we were all worrying about keeping De Bruyne out of the game, Gundogan was in there.
That's the trouble with City. Yeah.
Rodri's really good the other way. And he was doing a lot of that stuff. I mean, a lot of the ways we weren't... I know I was criticising us for our passes, but a lot of the reasons we weren't able to get through them was because Rodri was in the right place at where we needed to be. I just don't see Inter causing City that many problems the other way either.
We shall see.
I just don't see it.
And I'm trying to give you a sort of something
No,
to cling on to.
No, I think you kind of disrespect our performance at the same time when you do that. Because I thought we played, we played pretty well against that City team.
I thought City played average. They didn't play as well as they could have done.
No, because of the way that we were set up against them. But I don't think to have the players to be able to put that performance in defensively.
They've got some wily old foxes, haven't they?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Old being the key word.
Well, you look at Brozovic. Obviously, Brozovic is a very good midfield player.
Yeah.
Their back three, all right, you've got Darmian in there. That's probably the weakest out of the three. I don't know. It's just one of them things, isn't it? Obviously,
I think Haaland bullies them.
probably, but the closer you get to doing something like they are going to do, much like you did against Bayern Munich all those years ago.
Yeah.
The
It's going to be easy.
It won't be easy.
But I think they beat
yeah.
them.
I
think they beat them. I don't think it'll be as dramatic as 99, but I think they'll end up winning it by 2. To be honest with you, that's what I think. I think they'll win it by a couple. Whatever it is, whether it's 2-0, 3-1, or whatever, but it'll be something like that.
Yeah, I just think it'll be a tougher game for them mentally because they have to complete the treble now. They are that close to doing it. They have to do it, and I think the pressure might get to some of them.
I think they'll be fine. That's my instinct. I think it'll be fine. I think they'll do it. And it's going to be horrible, but they're going to do it.
Open top bus through Manchester.
Anyway, at least we made a final. 2 finals this season.
2 finals, yeah, 1 trophy. Can't sniff at that in his first season in charge, can you? Really?
We take those. Better than a lot of other football teams.
Yep.
Second, apparently finishing second rather than third in your league and not winning a cup is better than coming third in your league and winning a cup.
Who said that?
Some Arsenal fan, apparently.
Oh well, never listen to them. Never
Morons,
listen.
right?
Speaking
so that
of
was
morons.
that was the FA Cup. I mean, go on then. I'll let you complete that sentence.
Speaking of morons, we move on to the Europa League final.
I mean, what you're saying about Anthony Taylor's out of order.
No, I'm protecting the referee here. Jose Mourinho. This is the thing with Jose Mourinho that I find fascinating. When he wins, everyone applauds him as if he's Messiah. When he loses, he is such a sore loser.
But that's what makes them who they are, right?
But then
Wenger was the same.
But there's a way to go about
Ferguson was the same.
We'll get on to Alex Ferguson later. I've got a thing with Alex Ferguson.
They hate losing. These people hate losing. It's what makes them the winners that they are.
But it is in the manner that which he has gone about it, I think, is the thing that grates me. To do what he did to Anthony Taylor in that sort of tunnel area after the game, it's not his fault you lost.
So true.
You lost on penalties. Anyone can lose on penalties. You didn't do enough to win the game during the 90 minutes. Yeah, I think their argument is that they should have had a penalty. But then that's not Anthony Taylor, that's VAR.
Maybe, but if the ref sees it in the first place...
But if VAR goes, Anthony, that's handball, you need to overturn that, they didn't. This is where, obviously, the handball in the FA Cup final is in kind of complete opposite to the one in the Europa League final, because the Europa League final was probably a little bit clearer than that.
Yeah.
And that's where the system falls down. But anyway, yeah, I lost for words with Jose Mourinho. I mean, I don't like the man anyway. I make no bones about that. But
I mean, if you hadn't sacked him a week before final, he might have had a trophy.
Well, he keeps banging on about that. There's no guarantees that would ever happen. So
no, but I'd guarantee you'd have been more likely to win a trophy if you hadn't sacked him the week before a final.
We will never know. But
You do know.
To be fair, I didn't want him to be our manager anyway. I thought it was a strange appointment at the time. Didn't like him. plays too negative football. He's a dinosaur in the
I
modern
mean,
day.
Tottenham fans. It'll never amaze me as a Tottenham fan how you can be so wanting in what exactly you want from a manager when you've not won anything for a decade.
I just didn't like him. I didn't like him at Chelsea, to be fair. He came across as arrogant at Chelsea.
He's the special one.
He's a special something, all right.
He's the special one. But yeah, so Sevilla get their 7th Europa League.
I mean, they love this competition, don't they, Sevilla?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Jesus Navas was there for the first one, and he picked up the trophy in this latest one.
Potentially his last one, probably.
Potentially his last one.
If they get knocked out of the Champions League next year,
You never know.
into the Europa League, who knows what might happen.
And they might do that. You know what they're like? They're just like, should we just take third and go and win our trophy? I think that's probably what they play
give
for.
them a replica, mightn't they?
Yeah.
Saves giving it back every. Imagine the postage on sending back that big thing, because that is a heavy trophy. I remember
It's a huge little trophy.
we did a 125th anniversary match.
Yeah.
So they paraded all the trophies. Obviously, we've won the UEFA Cup as it was back then a couple of times, and Alan Mullery had the honour of bringing out the UEFA Cup. You just hear him mouth, "Oh bloody hell!" when he's lifting the thing up to bring it out. It's a heavy bugger.
It is a big trophy. It is a big trophy, but congratulations to Sevilla. And obviously this week we've also got the Conference League final, Europa Conference League final, featuring West Ham United.
What do we think on this one?
I mean, this is one genuinely, because you don't really know the level of the teams when they compare to each other.
Yeah.
On a day. You know, Fiorentina and West Ham. I think they can do it, but Fiorentina, you know, if you're going off pure European pedigree, you would back the Italian side.
Yeah.
It's always hard to go against the Italian side. But I agree. I think West Ham have been very, very consistent in that competition all season. They've faced some difficult teams, but so have Fiorentina.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good tie, I think.
It's an evenly matched final. You can't really call it.
Yeah, because even though West Ham haven't been brilliant in the Premier League, they have been very good in that competition.
They have been they've knocked out some very good teams along the way. Yeah.
So it'd be very interesting to see if they can pull this one off. You know, they've had overall, I think a lot of West Ham fans would agree they've had a disappointing season.
Yeah, to finish, what was it, 14th in the end?
Yep. So to come away with a European competition and another place in Europe.
Yeah.
They'll get in the Europa League next season.
Yeah, on the back of
if they do win.
Will they keep hold of David Moyes if they do?
I think so. Yeah.
I think they will as well.
I don't think he's going anywhere, and so it'd be up to West Ham, and I don't think West Ham. Yeah, because this is what he did. If you look back at his time at Everton, he'd have a really bad season at times, and then the next season he'd find the consistency again for him, and I think that's just the cycle of a David Moyes team.
And it would be typical West Ham for them to go, right, we've just won a European trophy. Let's sack the manager. Let's change course completely and go with something new. They did it with Sam, didn't they? Remember when they sacked Sam Allardyce?
Yeah, but I'll never blame anyone for sacking Sam Allardyce.
No, but they were bored of the football that Sam was playing, the long ball stuff. So let's get a manager who's going to pass it around. And what did they do? They sacked him. So,
yeah, well, like I said,
David is a safe pair of hands.
I think so. I think he's proven himself as well over a long time, other than his spell at United for one season.
Yeah, but to be fair, he's dusted himself down and gone again. Most people would have crumbled under that, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. But there we go. That is our little preview. I think West Ham will probably. I fancy him to do it, but it's going to be a tight game, I think.
Yeah. I fancy West Ham begrudgingly.
Yeah. Indeed. Right, so that is our little preview of the couple finals coming up this week. So is there still stuff, which I assume there is, happening around the world?
There is. We are slowly coming to the end of the European season, though. But we've got a couple of things to talk about. So we start in France, where Nantes, who survive on the final day, they relegate Auxerre as a result. There were also muted celebrations as Sergio Rico's horse riding accident caused a sort of things to be a little bit calmer for PSG's title win, as they say goodbye to both Messi and Sergio Ramos. Obviously, there's talk of Messi going back to Barcelona, which will be very interesting indeed. A quick hop over the border to Belgium, where a late Toby Alderweireld wonder goal secured Royal Antwerp's title for the first time in 66 years. Well done to them, and well done to Toby as well. To La Liga, where the relegation battle entered in a bit of a damp squib as Celta Vigo were the only winners out of the sides involved, meaning Valladolid join Espanyol and Elche in the Segunda next season. In Scotland, Ross County survive another season in the Premiership after they beat Partick Thistle. Celtic completed a treble by beating Inverness 3-1 in the Scottish FA Cup final. In the MLS, Phil Neville was relieved of his duties as manager of Inter Miami. It didn't help, in the short term at least, as they were beaten by Wayne Rooney's DC United. To the A-League, where the grand final wasn't very grand for Melbourne City. They were hammered 6-1 by the Central Coast Mariners, including a hat-trick for Jason Cummings. And will end in Serie A, where, for the first time since 2005, we face a playoff to see who will take the final relegation place after both Spezia and Verona finished level on points. Italy being Italy, they changed their rules on how things were decided last summer, moving away from the conventional goal difference or head-to-head to separate the two sides to go to a one-off game to see who goes down. So find out next week how that unfolded.
I don't mind that.
It's a
You
bit
should
of
have get points on the board. Get points on the board. I don't mind that.
It's a
You know,
bit
got the
of a
points on the board.
roundabout way of doing it, though, isn't it?
I don't mind it. I don't mind. I genuinely don't mind it.
But it's only for relegation and for European places. Any mid-table thing is already sorted out.
Oh yeah.
The usual way.
Yeah, but I genuinely don't mind that.
Fair enough.
I think that's a bit adds a bit more to it. Of course, it probably doesn't do great wonders for the fans of whoever finished ahead of who on goal difference.
So Spezia finished in front of Verona on goals scored?
Technically goal scored.
Technically goals scored, but then Verona
they've got
have
the
got a
playoff now.
better goal difference.
Oh right, okay.
Which is why it seemed balmy to me earlier on. So I had to actually sit there and figure it out why we were having a playoff.
I think we're having a playoff because they finished on points, right?
Yeah, level on points. That's why.
That's the only reason, that, of course, to playoff, and I don't mind that. But to be fair, one score. Well, to be fair, under traditional goal difference, then it would have been Verona who stayed up, yeah.
Yes.
So their fans are probably like, what? The Spezia fans are like, okay, we got a chance. But I don't mind that. I think it adds a bit of drama to the end of the season, doesn't it?
It does, indeed.
So, how is Donny's getting on in his final game of the season?
So the final game of the Austrian Bundesliga has taken place, and it did not go well for Hartberg. They were a man down after 20 minutes.
Not ideal.
Not ideal when you need to win to finish above the team that you're playing against, and they didn't beat them. They lost by 5-1, but Donis ends his lone spell at Hartberg with yet another goal.
He got the one in the 5-1.
He got the one in the 5-1. So obviously it'll be interesting to see where he ends up next season. But we'll move on to a new Wonder Kid next year, I think.
We shall see. Right. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it from us this week.
Do we want to talk about Ange Postecoglou?
I mean, if you want to. I don't think anybody outside of North London or a certain part of North London cares, but go on.
Well, Ange Postecoglou, by the time you hear this, may have been appointed the new manager of Tottenham Hotspur Football. Probably wasn't the first choice, but he is the man. Or the second.
Or the third.
But he is the man.
Or the fourth. Or indeed the fifth.
But he is the man that is going to take us forward.
You hope.
What someone put on Twitter yesterday, I really like Ange Postecoglou. I hope he's given time. And I tweeted back to him, I hope so too, but I doubt it.
It's very true. It's very true.
But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we shall see if indeed he does end up taking the job.
Or he hears this and turns it down flat.
I mean, I don't think he'll need to hear this to do that. I don't think anybody hears this, so it's fine. Right, here we go then. That is it. Like we said, we've got the two European finals to look forward to this week, plus a playoff in Serie A, if you so wish to view that. But for now, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget you can get in touch with us at Let's Football Pod on Twitter. You can email us at letsfootballpod@gmail.com. But for now, we will see you all next time. Enjoy the finals, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.